Welcome to my YouTube channel. As you see from the title, you know what we're here for today. We are here for part 4 of building the new character. And welcome to all the friends from Facebook who are joining us. I'm just waiting for people to join on, Matt. And my buddy Matt McNeil is sitting right here. We're just waiting for people to catch on. So here they come, Matt. They're all coming. And Matt, you're doing all right?
Yeah, and I think our sound is much better. So.
Oh, good. Yeah, and for those of you who are on Facebook, the sound was clipping a little bit, a little overdriven. I lowered that because I'm that technical kind of guy. You know that, Matt. I used to be. I am still. I know what I'm doing. So we're here today to talk. I forgot to turn off my tweets. I'm getting tweets. I can't see my own face. But Matt, I wanted to point out, as we did before, that people were complaining about your audio level last time. We couldn't hear you.
That's right.
Yeah, but now we have the DVLA speaker. And for those of you who don't know what that is, this is an amazing speaker, and we will talk about that at some other time. This is the small version. They also have the large version. These things are killer. You don't sound that great, Matt, because you're on your ears. You're on your ear.
Yeah, well, it was so that I can actually hear you.
Yeah. You should paint those silver and make it look more like jewelry. All right, folks, here we are. So part 4, we're building a new dummy, and he was a character that I had and was working on. I was going to, announce him on stage, introduce him on stage, as I always do. But because of what we're all going through right now, we're all self-isolated and some quarantined. And again, all best wishes and prayers to everybody out there, and we're all going to, we're all pulling together here to try and get through this as best as possible. And in the meantime, I'm just in my workshop still working, getting ready for the live shows, but we thought that I should go ahead and introduce this character online and let him be, let him be born for you guys while we're all sitting at home. So the last time we were here, I'd already gotten this character to the point that the head was finished and ready to be painted. And so last time I was just doing a few details on the paint. After we finished the episode, I did a little more, and here he is right now. And basically what this guy is going to be is the internet troll. And he's going to, Matt, we decided that he's going to be one of my haters online, and he's going to be the biggest hater, and he's going to be just pretty much a naysayer of everything that I do, I think. I don't know. I've come up with the basic idea for the character, but this is it. He's also going to have hair, and what we're going to be working on today are the hands, because he's also going to be a millennial kind of guy, or just like any of us, who's always on his phone. So when he looks down on his phone, his eyes have to be able to go down like this. And so I made the eyes be able to go up. He's also going to, just like roll his eyes at me a lot, and be able to look down at the phone, and then left and right, and this kind of thing. And Matt, what was I talking about on Facebook a few minutes ago is... all of my characters that I build have basically the same movements. They got the mouth, they have the eyebrows, and they have side-to-side eyes, and then I added the up and down on this one. But those are the only movements I really like. I think everything else is pretty much a distraction. I like to pay attention to the jokes, to the material, to the building of character. And that's what Edgar Bergen did with Charlie McCarthy and Mortimer Snerd. He was the most famous American ventriloquist, probably the most famous ventriloquist in all of world history. And he was pretty much the Seinfeld of the radio era. That's Edgar Bergen, Charlie McCarthy, Mortimer Snerd. Charlie and Mortimer were his main characters. And the interesting thing about these dummies is, again, he was a ventriloquist on radio, which made no sense, but back then it was the only thing that made sense. He started doing movies as well. But it was the theater of the mind. And what was most important was the jokes and the character and the situation. And it was situational comedy on radio. And so the movements didn't matter, but all Charlie had was a moving mouth, and all Mortimer had was a moving mouth. And that was it. He was the guy that I looked to as a kid, and I still do now for some of the comedy and all that he wrote. He was controversial. Mae West got kicked off the air forever for being too suggestive on his show. He was political. He'd make political jokes. So he was a big deal back then. But on the other side of that, the dummies that do nothing. Kermit the Frog, a puppet. He's just basically a talking sock. That's all he is. Very simple, but man, just brought to life by Jim Henson. And for those of us who knew Kermit the Frog way back when, grew up with him, he was alive. And it was just that. It was personality that was important. But on the other side of that is a dummy. There were two brothers in the late 30s and early 40s that built ventriloquist dummies, what ventriloquists consider sometimes as the Cadillac or the Ferrari of ventriloquist dummies. And this is one of them. And these guys, this is Ollie. I used him in college. I got him in 1983, 84, and I used him for a few years. But Ollie, unlike most ventriloquist dummies, has, I think it's 17 different movements. But one of them, there's the jaw right there, the typical jaw, hello. And then the upper lip, he does that, so he can do, then he, of course, the eyebrows. Then the eyes are interesting because you don't control them by a typical control. It's all by weights and the way you move his head. You want to look left and right, you do this, up and down, goes like this. Then he's got some ears that wiggle. He's got a hair, the thing that goes up. He's got a nose that can sniff. But anyway, you put all those things together, look surprised, like that. Okay, let's say he's had a little bit too much to drink. He gets a little sleepy-eyed, and he does this. So, and then he doesn't like when he tastes something he doesn't like. It's like, ugh. So he's got the tongue that sticks out. So there you go. And also, the other things that he does, there's a little receptacle in here where you'd put a lit cigarette. The ventriloquist would put a lit cigarette. There's a bulb inside. You'd squeeze the bulb. It would draw the smoke in. There's another lever you flip and squeeze the bulb, and it blows the smoke out of his ears. So that's a lot of stuff right there. Now, what I didn't show on Facebook a few minutes ago is Ollie with his head off.
You're going to take my head off.
Yeah, I did mention that you sound a lot like Peanut.
I know that's because of the voice you've used for a long time.
You were the predecessor to Peanut.
I don't know what that means, but yes, I was the fuller Peanut.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's show you what he looks like with his head off and how all these movements work. Matt, who's the dog?
Oh, sorry. My wife's phone was ringing and the dog was going nuts.
Let's show you how these guys.
One thing I wanted to bring up, which is funny because you pulled his head off, which is terrifying. But a lot of people in the comments have mentioned that they think he's kind of scary looking.
Oh, he is scary looking, and that's one thing when I build a character, I don't want him to look scary looking. I mean, Ahmed is supposed to be terrifying, but he's kind of goofy looking. This guy is going to be, he's going to have a chip on his shoulder, but I think there's a cartoon quality to him. And I think that's important, Matt, is that when you build a character, you want him to be appealing, that people can keep watching him and not be terrified of him, unless, of course, you want the dummy to be terrified, but then terrifying, but whatever.
But it's interesting to me that style is so prevalent, and not to get too cinematic, but you start talking about movies like Magic, which was completely terrifying as a result of that character.
Right.
And that, in my opinion, what you, like you say, you've done is you've taken that same form, but you've made a very likable and relatable vision of a character as opposed to something that's.
Well, what's interesting is the dummy Fats in the movie Magic that is terrifying was pretty much modeled after one of the very last dummies that George and Glenn McElroy made, and it looks very much like a bigger McElroy, more scary McElroy figure. So yeah, the big eyes. I think it's the giant eyes, and this just these. It's just this wide-eyed, scary look that a lot of these dummies have. What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at? Me?
Yeah, his eyebrows are up. It just, it's like, It's amazing how everybody kind of has that same primal fear of that kind of.
Here's the magic intro. Folks should not let the kids watch.
Abracadabra, I sit on his knee. Presto changeo, and now he is me. Hocus pocus, we take her to bed. Magic is fun, we're dead.
How do I remember that? How do I remember that from high school? That movie came out in 78 or 79.
I think I told you, last week I watched a mini documentary.
Yeah?
That was about these three kids that were traumatized by that movie trailer.
Yeah. Just by the trailer. The trailer was way scarier than the movie was.
So good.
Yeah, my buddy Dennis Alwood did that. And, So, and Anthony Hopkins was the voice of Fats. And Dennis says he actually did the voice in the trailer. I don't know. Maybe he did.
He sounds like Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah. Oh, Dennis does. Oh, you mean Fats does?
Well, Fats does in the trailer.
Right. Sure. Let me show these movements up close. Mouth. And I painted the teeth, by the way. I made them that pearly white. I made it pearl. This was, again, way back in college. I did this paint job myself. George and Glenn's paint job went away. The only thing that's the same is the eyes. George did those eyes. That is absolutely amazing right there. Those eyes. Those are just
And you knew those guys.
Yeah, I knew them. In fact, George was the one, because my paint jobs were very similar in technique and everything to George. I try to equal what he did. He taught me how amazing the human face is, no matter what nationality, how many colors there are in the human face. And so that's one of the most fun I have is when I paint a dummy. I love it. But anyway, so let's show you those movements up close. So there's the mouth, there's the upper lip, there's the eyebrows, there's the tilting of the head does the eyes up and down, left and right, the half cocked on the eyes there, and then this. And of course, those are leather eyelids. Then the nose that wiggles like this, then the tongue that sticks out like that, and then the ears that go like this, and of course the hair and the fright wig. Fright wig is what it's called.
Hey, can you show us the back, like how complicated that thing is?
Oh, yeah. Oh, one other thing I forgot. I don't have what happened?
Oh, I was going to say, no, just underneath, from my viewpoint, I can see all these tricks. It looks like a typewriter.
Look, hold on. See the nose? The nose lights up red too. See that? So when he's drunk, you can't see it like in this light.
Oh, look at that.
Okay, so you want to see how everything moves. Okay, I forgot, duh. So this is how everything works. And again, Glenn was the mechanist and George was the artist. So George would sculpt the head, make the head out of plastic wood dough, and then Glenn would put in all the movements. So it does look like a typewriter, but there's the mouth, there's the upper lip, and then all these different keys do all the other movements on the face. And of course that's the light, and there's a D-size battery. Isn't that crazy that since 1938 or whatever we have the same size batteries as back then? I had no idea they had D batteries back in the 30s. So anyway, that's all that. Do you want to see the inside? Woo!
I mean, it's kind of fascinating.
Woo! All right, let me get a...
It's too hard to pull his head
No,
off.
I got to find the right size screwdriver. Hang on. Yeah, this is a little bit... This is an amazing part of craftsmanship. I mean, who in this day and age has this kind of time to do this stuff? These guys were barely out of high school when they built these things. And Matt, see how fascinating this is? For some people don't care. We've lost them. But to me, this is incredibly fascinating. But it doesn't add to the entertainment value. It's like, oh, cool, he wiggles his nose. But how many times can you do that in a show? Once, maybe twice? Anyway, here's the back of the head. Now, it's 2 C cells. I forgot. This one's 2 C cells. So there's the inside of the head, ladies and gentlemen. It is a big mess in there. And those are ping pong balls. Those are ping pong balls for the eyes. But you can see that's moving the ears. There's the cross-eyed movement, just moving the head like that. And the weights, those lead weights are what move the eyes. It's absolutely nuts. There's the eyebrows like that. And it's all steel mechanics. I use all brass now. I don't think they had brass available back then. When World War II came along, and look at this. I've dated all the times that I went inside there and worked on the head. Where I was, what I did to it. Yeah, I'd write in pencil what I did to it. Oh, there was
What's the oldest date there?
What? What's what?
The oldest date. What was the furthest date?
Oh, when I got him in 1983, I think. Yep, June 10th of 1983. Yep, I repainted him in...
Dezawan wants to know...
Yep.
What is the most complicated character that you've made?
The most complicated character I've made is one that I made for a friend. I made him. It was a copy of Ollie. I made a mold of him, and I duplicated every... let's see. I said he had mouth, upper lip, eyebrows, the universal eyes that would move up and down, but I did them like I did this guy over here where they were controlled. That was the first time I ever did that. I forgot about that. So this is actually the second dummy I've ever done that to. What else did I do? A handful of movements, but that was the most complicated one I ever made. It was a copy of Ollie. And a friend of mine named David Erskine, it was in 1984. I was working on my act. I was still in college. There was a show called Sugar Babies that came along that was starring Mickey Rooney and Ann Miller. I wanted to be in that show. It was a traveling Broadway show. It was on Broadway. Then they took it on the road. And there was a spot opening for a variety act in it. And I was working on my act hard, and David Erskine would help me. He'd listen to me, and there'd be a sounding board, kind of like you are now, Matt. And I told him, I said, if I get in Sugar Babies, I'll just give you this stupid dummy. It was an offhanded comment. I thought, because there's no way I'm going to get in Sugar Babies. And sure enough, I got in Sugar Babies. I was a man of my word. He came by my apartment and picked it up.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. He's put him to good use. Whatever. So it's great. But But then the
You
sad part is,
actually have
wait.
a
The
good
sad,
question. You want to know
hold on.
How heavy is his head?
Hold on, Matt. The sad part about that is another figure maker got a hold of him, and they pretty much turned him into having nothing to do with me anymore. Changed the movements, and repainted him, did all that stuff. There's none of. I didn't even sculpt him. It was a mold of this guy, so there's none of me left in that dummy. That's what was sad about it.
Oh.
Yeah. So what was the question?
Oh, she wanted to know how heavy is that head, which is a good question.
This
head, mechanics.
This head's probably about 9 pounds. No, not even that much. I think it's about 7 pounds. I don't know.
And what do you suspect Ahmed weighs?
Oh, I don't know. Ahmed, yeah, about like this. About like that. Yeah, because his head is so much bigger and it's fiberglass. It was before I was printing in 3D, and so it's all fiberglass. So it's a lot heavier than the ABS plastic in that. So let's move on to really why we're here today, and that is hands. So every dummy has hands. Well, most every dummy has hands, and they're usually just typical that don't matter what they look like, because nobody pays attention to the hands. Well, the difference of this guy is that Walter's arms are crossed. You hardly ever see his hands. Most dummies' hands are down by their side. This guy, though, is going to be on his phone all the time, so his hands are going to be like this. So I told you guys in the last video that I was going to sculpt some hands that were in this shape and have moving thumbs. I think I'm going to do that, Matt, where he looks like he's doing this all the time, which I think is really funny because he's going to be able to pick up his arms. This is in my head. I have no idea how I'm going to design it, but he's going to be able to pick up his arms, look down, and go like this. And then, again, that's the reason that I have his eyes like that, so he can look down, right? So I thought, all right, I'll sculpt.
How in the world are you going to do that?
I don't know. The same way I had no idea how I was going to do the eyes. And by the way, this eye movement that I did is different than the one I did in college. This one is way better. It's just so much smoother. I've showed you guys this before. Oh, you want to see the mechanics that I do? This is very rudimentary, but I'm very proud because these things really work and they stay there and they're brass. But so that's the eyes up and down and then left and right and then the eyebrows and then the mouth. And I've told people this before, they have to be feather light because my shows are 2.5 hours long and I can't, you get carpal tunnel syndrome, whatever it is. What is it? Carpal tunnel? Whatever. Carpal tunnel, yeah. So I don't want to get that. So they're very light movements. But I pride myself in how good the movements and smooth they are. For example, let me raise, okay, if I push up like this, the eyes go down. I'm just going to let go of the trigger. I'm just going to let go of it and watch what it does. It just falls right down. That's how smooth everything is, and that's the way it should be. I mean, it's all feather. That's the eyebrows like this. There should be no weight on those mechanics. So no friction.
Reliable.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I've said that before. From building and flying radio control helicopters, and then building and flying experimental full-size helicopters, I learned about mechanics and how to make stuff that's reliable. Moving on. So I thought, okay, I got to have those hands that are shaped like this. And I thought, I'm going to sculpt some new hands. That's what I said last time. And then I realized, wait a second, I've already sculpted hands that were in that position. And anybody knows my little Jeff dummy, he has hands very much like this. So here's a hand that I sculpted way back when, which was just going to be, they were going to be Walter's hands because I was going to scan them, print them, and they're pretty much made after my hands. How do we do this? Hold on. This way. They're pretty much after my hand. That looks pretty close, right? So
it does.
Yeah. So I sculpted this hand. I was going to scan it and print them smaller for Walter, and I never got around to it. He still has his old hands. But then when the little Jeff ventriloquist dummy came along that we were producing, that we still sell. So here's little Jeff. This is my little Jeff dummy that we sell online still. We're actually selling a bunch every day now, Matt, during this while people are isolated. Because I guess
taking up hobbies.
Yeah, people are taking up hobbies because you can get this little guy, and I love this little guy. For $100, you get a semi-professional ventriloquist dummy. He can move his mouth, he moves his head, and he can move his eyes. And it's it's all very reliable, all plastic, great stuff, good body. And also, man, do the whole damn commercial. Hold on. And also, I just happen to have this. I don't know why this always hangs out in my shop. You also get this DVD on how to teach yourself ventriloquism. So there it is. It's got the lessons. It's got the characters on it.
Lessons on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, but YouTube channel. That's right. So you can go there. But you get the DVD free when you order the little Jeff ventriloquist dummy. Anyway, the point, and that's at jeffdunham.com under merchandise, right? Yeah. Okay. But here's the point. Look. It's the same hand. And what I did, sorry, little Jeff, hang on, buddy, is I scanned the hand and then shrunk it down. And so here they are side by side, shrunk it down, and then printed the little ones, gave it to the manufacturer, and then they just started duplicating them. So little Jeff's hands are these hands right here. And here's a little bit of trivia. Look at that right there and the small nail. Those are my initials. Look at that. Yeah, so that's...
Yeah, you showed me that yesterday. I'd never seen that before. That's great.
Yeah. Did it make it in here? Hold on. Are they on is it on the little Jeff? No, it looks like it got, yeah, because they dumbed it down a little bit. Or they said, no, he can't have his initials on the hands. Anyway, so, and when I looked at those hands, at these hands sitting here, Matt, after you left last week, I went, wait a second. They're already in the perfect position as if he's texting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan these hands. Again, it's a better scanner now, so I'll get a better file. But I'm going to scan the hands, and then when I print them, I'll cut the thumb off right here and hinge it. So this thumb will now go, can't do this, will now go up and down. I'll hinge it right here. So it'll now go up and down like that. And I'm going to make it very obvious so you can see it from the audience that the hands are going up and down and they'll be opposite. So yeah. So Matt, all I have to do now, I don't have to sculpt anymore. We already got this. Just scan these things, cut the thumb, print them, cut the thumb off, and I've got a mechanical hand that'll work great. So what I thought we'd show today is how this scanning process and how this whole thing works. So Matt, I'm going to have to do a little bit of moving here to the other side of the shop. I already have the right hand ready to be scanned. So don't want to knock over this head, but I'm going to move your speaker and the entire menagerie of stuff over there. Ugh. Oh, man, I forgot. Wait, you're plugged into the computer. Hang on. All right, hang on, everybody. I apologize. Matt and I will be over here.
Well, you might just leave me there and...
No, because then I want to see you when I'm talking to you. I want to see you when I'm talking to you. So if anybody has any questions, Matt, anybody's questions, I'll answer them while we're moving you and everything else over there. Oh, the chair's on top of everything.
Barrett wants to know, how will you operate the hand bit?
I don't know yet. I'm pretty good with mechanics, so I will figure it out. How I move.
But do you feel like it's going to be another trigger, or is it going to be like a foot thing?
No, it'll be a trigger. It'll be inside the body where the head is. Okay, hang on a second.
Which is another kind of point that I think that people take for granted, is that every one of your characters is different. It's not like every time you stick your hand in there, all the controls are in the exact same spot. Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah. I don't have anything. I don't. There's nothing that I do that is the same. I don't manufacture these things. I don't have a mold. Every character is different because their heads are different. Everything's different. Where's the hand? There's the hand. Okay. Is that a good shot? That's a good shot, right?
Yeah. Except we can't see you.
Oh. Well, who cares?
Just if you'll pan a little bit to the left, we'll get everything.
Like me going like this. Yeah. Okay. And I'll go up a little bit.
There you go. That's getting there.
How's that? Yeah, I think that's good. Okay. Now here's your speaker, and here you are. Matt, are you in the shot? You're not going to be in the shot. Okay, hold on. Then move your speaker around. I'm telling you, these speakers are just crazy. They're crazy expensive, but they're so good. When the music is
the oddest thing ever.
Yeah, and they move. My boys on the big ones, they love just standing there touching it as the bass it goes boom, 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 like that. All right, where am I going to put you, Matt? I'll put you here. No, that's in the way. Gosh darn it. All right, you're going to have to go right here. Great. All right. Any questions, Matt? Does anyone have any questions? All right. Are we still on? I can't hear you, Matt. Oh, no. What happened? Yeah, hang on. I don't know what I did. Hang on. Hang on. Are you there yet? No?
Nope.
There. Now you are.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Keyman wants to know what 3D printer you use.
Oh, the 3D printer I use is, I can show this. It's wireless. It's this one over here. I love this thing. It's the Dimension SST 1200 ES. Do I have that in the shot, Matt?
Well, there's a delay, so I'm waiting for you to pick up the camera on YouTube.
Oh, it's that far behind. There it is.
Yeah.
The Dimension, yeah. I love this thing, and I've had it for 11 years now, I think, Matt. Is it 10? No, it's 11 years, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll show this after I scan this thing. Tomorrow I might work on the body. If I have time to do a video tomorrow, I think I will. I'm doing this all during the boys' nap time. They may be running in here any second, so let's get to scanning. But yeah, so that printer there, ABS plastic, it's great. Let me show you how this works. So we're going to scan now. And again, how this works, everybody, the younger folks today know what this is. Some of the older folks might not be as familiar. But, oh, please work. Come on. Come on. Oops. No, we don't want to do that. Let's start over here. I'm going to start over. Cancel. All right. We're going to start over. And we're going to go scan. And capture. There we go. All right.
So somebody wants to know, how long do you think the whole dummy will take to build?
Oh, I've already put, the majority of the work is already done. And that was with the, building of the head. That's all the work. So it's already been hundreds of hours. I have no idea. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I guess, let me get where you can see where this, as it happens. All right, so here we go. You can sort of see on the screen. Can you? All right, let's see. Here we go.
Yeah, I can see what you're doing.
All right.
Somebody's asking, when are you going to make another cartoon movie, another animated?
That's, Ahmed Saves America to me was just so much fun. And it was on, where was it first? CMT?
Was it CMT?
Yeah, but what was I thinking? An animated special with a dead terrorist as the main character. What network is going to stick their neck out and show that? You know what I mean? In this day and age, it's not going to happen. So we have an idea for a Walter one, which I think would be great. So that may happen. Right now, I'm just working on the live show, which makes perfect sense because the Lord knows when we're going to get back to live shows. So far, well, we had an archive screw up. So I'm going to start over, Matt. Again, that happens every once in a while. You get an archival screw up and you don't want to mess it up. Oh, here come the boys. So hold on. Hang on.
Allie Blank wants to know if you're ever going to make another ventriloquist doll that you can sell.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been a debate, Matt, as to what the next character is going to be. And should I do that or what? Yeah, let's try this again and see if we can do it without getting any archival stuff. Okay.
Hi, James. Hi, Jack.
So you can you see on the screen? Yeah, I'll get a close-up of that screen in a second. But basically what we're doing is you're putting little points in the computer, little triangles. Right now it's just points. We'll turn it into triangles in a little while.
This is an interesting idea. Armor Art Customs said, could you make a kit that people could buy to build their own dummy?
Oh, a few guys have tried that before. And yeah, that can be done, sure. You know what? I don't know if there's still some online or not. Somebody ought to research that, see if there's ventriloquist dummy kit online anywhere. Maybe somebody can answer that. So anyway, we're doing a bunch of little points, millions of points. We'll get the actual number of points here in a second. And so Leno showed me this for the first time. I was over at his shop, and one of his guys was using one of these because they use these to scan pieces of the car. Like, let's say you got a left what's it, and you need the right what's it. Well, it's impossible to find that right what's it sometimes. So then it's easier just to scan one of them, reverse it in the software, and print out a new one. And this scanner is absolutely amazing. It's aircraft rated.
So just so you know, Jeff, a couple of people are commenting that the audio's choppy or overmodulated. I wonder.
Again?
Yeah, I wonder whether it's maybe the batteries.
I don't know. Hi, bud. There's little James over here. Buddy, don't touch this, okay? You can say hi in the camera. Can you see the camera over here, bud?
Yes.
Okay. You want to come say hi? Stick your head around here. Oh, it's hard to... Can you back up a little bit? Go over there. I can't see you. Where are you? Go right here, right here. Go right here, James. There. Wait, where is he? I don't... Go this way. Get right there, James. Where are you? James, where are you? Go right here. Go there. James, go over there. Right there. Now turn around and look. Go over. No, go by this machine. No, right here. James, turn around and look at the camera. Go next to the machine. No. Okay, I'll be right back. James, come stand right here. Stand right here. Right here. Turn around now. Look at the camera. There you are. Can you wave? See yourself right there? Can you wave and say hi?
Hi.
They just woke up from their naps. All right. All right, James, hold on a second. So, Matt, I swear I want to do this before I got to go. We're going to show everybody how this scan looks. That beeping noise is when you reach the scanner's limit and you have to in range.
So, for the layperson, how is this doing this? What is it doing?
Okay, so you're giving it millions and millions of points for it to work with. And then what will happen is after you get all these points, you then turn it into a mesh. And a mesh is made up, as you know, Matt, of triangles, which is all digital data. This is all digital data. And then you take that file and you get it to the 3D printer. And it takes all those triangles. And to me, one of the most amazing processes in this whole process is the machine, the software that's in the 3D printer that takes all those triangles and then figures out how to print them layer by layer by layer. Absolutely
Some of you
amazing.
just wanted to know, is it like printing or building something in AutoCAD?
I don't know anything about AutoCAD. Do you?
Basically, you're building a 3D object.
Okay. So yeah, we're building a 3D object with a scanner.
Yeah.
This will be cool when you see this actually done. I mean, when you see the actual file. It's just building a 3D object. Is that it, Matt? Is that what you said? Just like...
Yeah, it's like a modeling program.
So you take different shapes and turn them into stuff, right?
Yeah, and then you feed it into a CNC machine or a 3D printer or whatever. But you're taking a physical thing and scanning it.
Right. I should be saying to myself, I was in a hurry today, so the stand that this hand is on is a drill bit.
Hey, whatever works.
Yeah, I just stuck a drill bit up in the clay. All right, we're almost there. Again, the more points you can get, the more detail you can get in there, the better your file is going to be, but it can't be too big because then you're going to eat, the CPU is going to have just so much fun with trying to convert it all. I think I'm about there.
Yeah, what amazes me is how that ARM and software keeps track of like physical space and then allows you to stitch everything all together.
Well, see, that's what's amazing when I say it's aircraft rated, meaning that's how accurate it is, meaning they can build aircraft parts out of these scans down to the, I don't know how many thousandths of an inch, like zero tolerance. Trinity, there's a few little crevices here that are next to impossible to get to. And what'll happen is...
Jim Moore wants to know, when you scan something like this, is it to scale?
Yeah, absolutely to scale. And then, like I said, when we figure out what we want to do with it, then we'll take it and before we print it, you scale it up or down on the printer. So that's the cool thing about when I sculpt a head now. I no longer have to do it full size. I can just do it as large as I want and then scale it up or scale it down. The last 3 or 4 dummies I've built have all... Well, no, you know what? The baby was full... Seamus the baby was 100% was 1-to-1. All right, so I'm going to stop right here. I've gotten most of it. And stop the scanning. So let me show everybody what we have here. I can do the rest of this one-handed if I don't turn the camera off. Ooh, there we go. Sorry, buddy.
Okay. Crackhead Puppet Show keeps asking what kind of Mustang that is under the car cover.
It's not a Mustang under a British flag. You don't put a Mustang under a British flag. That is a Morgan Super Sport under that. Maybe we'll reveal that right before we go, Matt.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, the Morgan Super Sport, yeah, unbelievably beautiful vehicle, and that's the cover that came with it. That I bought, had to buy with it. Okay, so here we are in this hand, and now I'm going to say, oh, let's see if I can turn it around or not. Yeah, here we go. So, let me see. Come on. There we go. So that yellow part is where I couldn't scan, but this is it right here. And that's the whole hand. So now I'm going to say, okay. And now it's going to take those points and put them into a file. Wish I could, Matt, can I turn this camera around? Yeah, I can I? Okay, there it is. Yeah. All right, here we go.
And it's an STL file, yeah?
No, I can't remember what it is. The STL file is what the printer wants. Okay, so here's the hand. Gotcha. Yeah, so I have to convert this file into an STL file. So now it's just a bunch of points. But I can clean it up now or I can clean it up later. Oh, I don't have my mouse with me. Yikes. I got this all by keys. Okay. So what you want to do now is clean everything up, like this drill bit and all that down here. You don't need all this. This is going to get boring for people. Any other questions?
Let's see. Well, we're having still a few people talk about the audio being overmodulated. And we did check the volume earlier, and it was fine.
How about I just move it away from me? How about that?
Yeah, put it away from your mouth.
How's that? Is that better? We'll know in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So David Russell wants to know, do all ventriloquists make their own dummies?
I think very few do.
And so are there still guys that are known for building dummies for multiple ventriloquists?
Oh yeah, and you can find those online, the people that do that. Absolutely. So as you can see, I'm deleting all the artifacts that don't need to be there. And it can clean it up themselves. And I'm no expert at this software. I just know how to do the basics. But lassoing, like I'm lassoing those pieces right there, and then I come over here and I hit bring the menu up, and then I do delete. Again, I left my mouse inside. I can clean up this bottom. Anyway, this is the basics. So what we'll do the next time we come back, I'm going to work on the body a little bit, and then we'll print. Oops, that's not what I wanted. And then we'll print. We'll print one of these or both of these hands. Oh, and I think I'll scan. The hands are slightly different, so I think I'll scan the next one instead of just reversing it. See, there's that drill bit back down there I don't need. I don't need to print that, so I will zoom in on that and lasso all that.
More Arts Customs wants to know, what material do you use to sculpt with?
Oh, I use plasticine clay. And I used to use the firmer stuff, but the softer stuff, just so long it doesn't get warm, is really great. All right.
What's interesting to me about that clay is you can melt it down and strain it and reuse it. Oh, I had no idea.
I've never done that. Okay, so now what we do is, Matt, this is okay, now I'm going to save this file to make sure it doesn't go away. Desktop. I'm just going to call it hand.
Mark A. Crick wants to know, how long does it take to print a hand?
I'm going to guess that hand is going to take, I'm going to guess about 28 hours, depending on the size.
Wow.
Depending on the size, of course.
Times 2.
Yeah, sure. And I'll do them one at a time in case there's I don't have a power backup that's fast enough here to catch it if it goes dead. Okay, so now what you do? Now we're going to turn it into a mesh. So that's what's called wrap. And so you hit wrap, and it turns it into a mesh. And all your default stuff. What is a scanner? Gosh, do you remember how much this scanner cost, Matt? This is a really good scanner. It's one of the top ones. And I can't remember.
You got it when 3D printing was
This scanner is brand new. I got this a year and a half ago.
Okay. Scanner,
now look at the artifact now that it's or the hand now that it's changed. Now this is a shell. Ah, dang it! Didn't mean to do that either. Now this is
watertight.
No, it's not. That's
it's
what
not.
all the no, it's not yet. Now it's just a shell, but there are holes in it. There's some a few problems with it, so those all need to be fixed.
Oh.
Yeah, so you go over here. Yeah, I'm going to save it again. You know how that goes. Overwrite it. And again, we're boring the hell out of people.
No, actually, believe it or not, there are a lot of people in the comments that are interested in what you're doing.
All right, so now the mesh doctor comes in.
Gizmo the cat wants to know are there any peanut characters that you can get? Can you buy?
Yep. Hold on one second. Hold on 1 second. So all those highlights and stuff, those are problems in the scanning, which is no big deal. It's typical. So you can see some of the problems right there. There's what you call all those things. Self-intersections, blah, 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 blah. It's all technical jargon, spikes, all that stuff. So then what you do is you go apply, and it's going to try and fix everything. And it won't fix everything the first time around. You have to come back. Like these are giant holes right here. These are giant holes. It won't try and fill in it itself, but I'll fill those in manually in the software. And then the spinning thing of death, waiting for things to happen. And it also pains me, Mac, that this is a PC. It's the only PC that I own. Everything else I own is Mac. I love Apple stuff. I have since the Macintosh, the first one in 1984. I got to work on them in a computer lab in 1985 at Baylor. And I've told that story over and over, that I failed French 1 twice, failed French 2 once, failed Spanish. I went to Dean Toland at Baylor, and he said, "Mr. Dunham, you have proven to Baylor University that you cannot pass a foreign language." So he changed my degree requirements and said, "There's a new lab with some computers. We have like 30 of them. They're called something called the Macintosh." He goes, I want you to go take a computer lab and programming the Macintosh for 3 semesters, and then your final semester, let's see, Greek mythology. Like, okay. So, look at that. It fixed that's awesome. It fixed everything. Okay, so I'm going to save that for sure. That's an okay right there. And I'm going to save it. Overwrite. But there are still giant holes there. So what I'll do is manually go over here to tools, I think it is. Tools? Is it tools? No, it's not. I forgot where it is. I have to oh my gosh, no, it's not tools.
It's like you have to learn the software every time you do this.
It is. It's nuts. Come on, where is it? Somebody who knows this is watching going, "You idiot, it's right there." Ah!
Yeah, apparently Mark Tilley knows, because he says, unfortunately, the Pharaoh arm only works with Windows.
Yeah, that's right. All right, I can't remember where the... No. It would be under tools. What am I doing? Alignment, tools.
While you're searching, Ken Allison wants to know, what's the material your printer uses, and is it usable for the final puppet?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's ABS plastic. And hold on, Matt. Why can't I find this thing now?
There's that list of notes.
I know, but I know how to do this. What is wrong with me? I was right there. What is going on? Oh, here it is. Okay. So, Mesh Doctor, there it is. Let's see. Fill, here we go. Fill Fill a hole. Here we go. Fill a single hole. Ta-da! That's what I'm looking for. Okay, let's pick this hole right here and fill it up. It's going to fill it up. Da-da-da-da. That's pretty good. There's another hole here. Fill that one up. That one. Now fill this one. Now fill this one. Yep, that's pretty good. Fill that one. Awesome. Fill that little one over there. See if there are any more over here. Yeah, there's a few.
It's amazing what these computers do.
Yep.
Like 5-10 years ago, you would have to model what's in those voids.
Yeah. Yep.
So Richard Earl Deary Jr. wants to know, what is the body going to look like? Do you have an idea for that?
Yeah, I was talking about that with Audrey this morning. I put Bubba J's body on him just to see the size, and I fell in love with the fat tummy on this guy because Bubba J has that tummy that sticks out. And I just think
if this guy sits in front of a computer.
Well, if he's living in his parents' basement or whatever, he's definitely going to have gained a little tonnage. So I think he's got to have a tummy. He's got to have a tummy. He's not working on his abs. I got to go inside here in a minute. But here we go. So we've pretty much filled in all the holes. And let me go back to the mesh doctor. Let's say, okay, are we done here? We are done here. Okay, so we're going to save again. Okay. And now we will, I'm going to decimate it a little bit. I'm going to bring down the number of polygons. I'm going to make it 60% the size that it is right now. Right now, the triangle count is 91,000. Whoa, wait, 91,000. Wait, I can't read that from here because the camera's in the way. 914,731. Whoa. So I'm going to take it down 60%. I'm going to make it that much more simple. And nothing should happen to the looks of the thing. There you go. Well, not yet. I'm simplifying the mesh so the computer won't have so much to work on when it's trying to figure out what it's making. Okay, now we've look how far that number went down. So, oops, right there. There it is. Okay. So again, I'll save it. Overwrite it. Put this thing in the middle so everybody can see it. There it is. What else am I going to do to it? There's another hole there, but let's make sure that it's okay. We go back to the mesh doctor over here and see how many problems there are with it, because there'll be more problems again. Yeah, just a few. So we apply this.
So what was the old process for this, Jeff?
It was just a scanner that was not as advanced. This is just
right. It was like almost like a desktop scanner.
Yeah, and it would only, this thing you can scan huge things. That one would only scan certain size things. It was great. You and I went to the people that made it and met with them, and that was, can you believe that was 11 years ago? Wow. Okay, good.
Seems like yesterday.
Oh, I'm glad you can remember that well. All right, so now it's ready, and I'm just going to export this thing.
But even before the scanning, how would you do this? Is two-piece mold, or what would you?
That. Yeah, hold on. Let me do this. So desktop, and we're going to call it the hand, and it's going to be an STL file without binary. Those are all the different kinds of files it could output. So we're going to do an STL file because that's what that printer wants. And yeah, look at all the different things I have on here that I've scanned. Matt, come back.
Sorry, my dog was whining.
Oh, look at all these different things I've scanned. Hot Wheels, Roadie, Major Matt Mason Moonbase, Peanut Trigger, all those things for Peanut, the bobblehead, all those things. Anyway, all right, so there we go.
That's really cool, the bobblehead stuff.
Yeah.
Because you scanned the bobblehead for the Peanut ventriloquist dummy that you're thinking about.
Oh, yeah. Let me show that real quick and we'll get out of here. So what I did was I scanned this bobblehead right here. Here's the bobblehead, typical little bobblehead. I then scanned it. I then took another one, put a moving mouth in it, this tiny little thing right here, put a moving mouth in it, and then I printed it, and I've made the ventriloquist dummy that we are going to be manufacturing to sell. So there's a big one right there. That's that. Hi, Jack. You say hi? Okay. All right. So, Matt, I think we did pretty well today.
Yeah, I think.
I had a no ID caller ID. Should we show this Morgan to everybody real quick?
Oh yeah. That's one of those cars that you never see ever.
Yeah, never ever see.
Which brings me to
Yes.
tonight on Discovery.
Oh, tonight on Discovery. Yes, tonight on Discovery at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern is what's the name of the show, Matt? Driven. That's right, on Discovery, and it's our buddies at Galpin Ford, Bo and Dave, Bo Beckman and Dave Shutton, and they've done some amazing cars, and they're actually gonna they're taking one-off cars and bringing them back to life. Anyway, there's the Morgan Super Sport. How do we get around here? We can see this thing. The Morgan Super Sport is just hand-built in Great Britain and beautiful. We were able to pick, you can't tell that color, but it actually has red in it. It's kind of a brown. And then the interior, I got to show the interior. I think I locked it so little people wouldn't be getting in it. Can't remember. Hold on. But the interior on this thing is, oh, no, I left it open. So look at this. Hold on. Let me turn the camera around. That's just beautiful. All that leather. So Audrey and I picked the leather. We picked the wood. And we picked the color of the car. And again, you can't really see the brown in it, but there's some brown flake, red brown flake in there. Anyway, so that's it. Okay, it's a Morgan Super Sport. And it's just sitting here because we're self-isolated. Hey, Jack, how is it staying at home with mommy and daddy all the time? Do you like it? You do? Have you been having fun, buddy? Would you like to go have fun right now? Okay, what do you want to do? Is there any toy you want to play with? You want to go on a hike? What you want? Oh, you want me to fix that for you? Okay, I will fix that for you, little man. I will. We'll do that right away. That's why he's out here. All right, everybody. That's pretty much it. And Matt, thank you for joining us. Who's in the background?
I think Christy thought we were wrapping up. She decided to come out this morning.
Hi, Christy. Okay.
That says hello.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us.
One thing I've learned from working with my wife is she needs to pick quieter snacks.
All right. All right. Audrey just said my Asian hand sanitizer has finally arrived. What does that mean? What?
Sounds crazy.
It was a tweet she put out. My Asian hand sanitizer? Christy, I'm sorry.
So
Christy, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what that is.
Just as he's sorry, you can't hear, but Audrey's Asian hand sanitizer just arrived.
We're not sure what that means. All right, thanks everybody. So Matt, what do you think? Tomorrow, I think I'll have time during nap again. I think tomorrow we'll start working on the body. I think. If anybody cares.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we're going to build this dummy bit by bit. Yes?
But remind people to check out your YouTube video from Friday.
So the reason it's been a few days since I got online again and did this is because I was working. Matt and I were working on a video. I shot everything. Matt edited everything, but it is killing it on Facebook and YouTube. And it's called Self-Isolated.
Quarantine. Isolated Thoughts.
Quarantine, Isolated Thoughts. And it's all the characters talking about this big craziness that we're all going through. So there you go. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it. And we're going to finish this guy, and we're going to start on a new character after that. And oh, Matt, I forgot to tell you, you know what's coming up in like a week? We're going to do this live right here. The Floby.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Dude, I might have to come over. I might have to break the quarantine and come get my haircut.
Yep. So it's the Floby. I'm going to be Audrey's going to be giving me a haircut with the Floby. It's not quite long enough yet. It needs to go a little longer. I'm starting to look scragglier. All right. Again, thanks everybody. For those of you who might have joined us late, we are working on this guy. Those are his hands that we're working on. We don't know his name yet, but we're working on it. And by the way, the name I tried to remember last week, Matt, was Hermes, because Hermes was the god of communication. I think it was a Greek god. He doesn't.
Oh, that's right.
He doesn't look like a Hermes, but We'll come up with something. And I thought maybe Herman was a name that, you know, an offshoot of Hermes, but it wasn't. Herman is the German name, so no, not it. All right, thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.
See you.